Greetings YouTube. Today I'm looking at a Firebird brand multi-tool. And Firebird is made by Gonzo. So these are readily available on Amazon. I picked them up I picked all of these tools, all of my current Firebirds off of Amazon. And because I was actually having a hard time running down Gonzo knives on their own, but I was having no difficulty finding Firebird. I don't know why, but the Firebird is made by Gonzo. So these are out of China. And here comes the box it came in, and I saved the box for the video. So we have box F202. China, Gonzo Tool Company Limited, made in China. So in case you didn't get that idea, it's made in China. So here it comes in this really nice quality sheath. Which you can carry either horizontally or vertically, which to my mind is the way a sheath should be designed for a multi-tool. And this is very well built, seriously. Overbuilt compared to some of the things I've seen out there. So it comes out, and I mean, it holds its shape, which is nice. Oh, I forgot to get the tools out. Sorry. There you go. Here's the bits. So here we have the tool itself. And it has a nice sculpted look. And the first thing you notice that it has a very nice finish to it. It feels comfortable in the hands. There are no sharp edges anywhere on this. It's very comfortable. It gives you the impression of a quality piece of equipment even before you open it. And I have to tell you, I've held a lot of multi-tools. I own quite a few, and I held more in shops and stuff when I was trying to decide what I wanted to buy. And this feels better than a lot of the quality blades out there and the tools I've handled in the past. It isn't all that light, though. I will admit that. Many multi-tools aren't, so that's not a Firebird Gonzo problem. This multi-tools offer often kind of heavy. So we open this all the way up. And then we have the main pliers. Now, the first thing you'll notice, at least the first thing I noticed, I took it outside of there, the finish on this is unbelievable. These things line up perfectly with each other. And the tip, get in there, the tip is it's like tweezers. Seriously, these things line up perfectly. You have a fine tooth jaws here that are perfectly level, and then you have larger, rougher for grabbing nuts and things like that, or cylinders, and then you have the wire cutters. And the wire cutters are nice because the wire cutters meet at the tip, and then they move towards the hinge. So that helps to grab the wire you're cutting, drive it in, and pinching it while you're shearing through it. So it's less likely to move, and you're going to get a nice clean cut that way. Excellent design. And I'm not joking, this is the best quality. For this price point, I paid 20 bucks for these. Okay, $20 for these. Alrighty, so now that you've got all the basic idea, and then you have this plastic pieces here, which offer some grip quite comfortably. My only caveat on this is they're maybe just a little wide for me, but I will admit my hands are on the medium side. If you have more normal size hands for a guy, my hands are somewhat smaller than a lot of men. This would be very comfortable. And if you have large hands, you'd have absolutely no problem with that. But that's more of the fact that I don't have the biggest hands in the universe. So we're going to look at the tools on this. So here we go. We're going to pull out this one first. And here we have the Serrated Edge. And this is a very aggressive Serrated Edge. Now my only concern with this is that I don't know if you really need a Serrated Edge to come to this much of a point. Because to my mind, a serrated edge, the serration is what's doing the cutting, and this is very, very aggressive. I would not drag my finger across this. I would cut myself. So I think that this right here, because you have this scallop, that could potentially be a break point. So I think that they may have been better off grinding that down. And frankly, if it does break off, if you're using and it does, it would be very simple to grind that off to a blunt point. And I also think if it were blunt point, it might be also be better, more efficient as a rescue tool for like cutting through a seatbelt. But that's just me. There are no locks on this. That could be considered a downside to some folks, and other folks don't. Sorry, I don't have the world's best fingernails for getting things like this out of a tool. Oh, almost had it. Almost had it. So we're seeing a slight design flaw in that. Here we go. Here we go. And these are scissors. And they have a good spring, which is a nice, and they come to a nice meet. They meet up nicely. There is no over travel. So that's good. Again, and close them up, and then we can put them back where they belong. There we go. Put them back in. All right, we have can opener. Good aggressive bevel on that. Nice aggressive bevel on that can opener, which is something that you want on a can opener. Then we have, again, here we go. Regular head screwdriver, which is a nice feature. We switch over to this side, and here, this is the weird thing to me. They made the straight edge, which is kind of almost a Warncliffe, a blunt design. But they didn't make the scallop edge a blunt design, which I think it should have been. And my one real negative comment about this particular tool is this grind here is very rough. There's visible ridges on here that you can feel and see. I didn't like that at all. And it's not really usably sharp. It's barely got an edge. I was kind of disappointed in this particular blade. I'm going to hone this up. I'm probably going to give it to a friend because I actually don't need this multi-tool. But this is the only real disappointment for me. The other serrated edge, that's a design feature that I think may have been the wrong decision. But the blade itself is an excellent cutter. This is too dull, but I do like this blade shape, so I'll give them kudos for the blade shape. And then we have, oops, sorry. We have a fish hook. We're getting fish hooks out of your fish, and a saw, and it is beveled. So that the teeth here are narrower in the spine, so you're not going to get binding when it comes to cutting wood. So that's a good thing. And then we're going to use it here. And then we have a kind of a ream. It's a very thick ream, but you can actually also use this for pushing threading through material. So this could be used for, I guess, camp equipment repairs and things like that. But it is kind of aggressive. It's kind of thick for a ream. It was a strange design. It seems functional. It just seems kind of weird. And then the last tool we have is this one here. And this looks, what is that tool? That tool is your driver. Okay. You don't have to worry about them slipping out, I can tell you that. If I can get the tool out. There we go. Alright, so the driver goes on here. There you go. And then you put your bits in here for driving. Now, there was a couple in here like this. For example, there's this regular head screwdriver is almost exactly the same size as the one that's in here. So I think that's kind of redundant. And if I were to carry this thing, I would probably replace this one and that one. I would keep one regular head, and I would probably throw in some other torque. These are hex heads in here. I would probably throw a couple of Torx in there because I find those kind of useful for making knife adjustments and things. And you got 3 different Phillips, and you could probably find uses for all 3 of those in the real world. I find less uses for regular heads. And then you've got these, and the nice thing is that this one, I believe, would let you put other types of bits, other types of driving bits from other sets on here, so you could expand your options. And of course, you could use this as a nut driver as well. So I gotta tell you, folks, for a $20 knife, $20 multi-tool, with the one caveat of that one knife blade not being as sharp as it should be, and it doesn't have a great grind. Other than that, this tool is incredibly high quality, and I recommend it for anybody looking for a lower end multi-tool, especially if you're getting into the multi-tool world. This may be a tool you want to try out before you decide to invest in a more expensive device. But you may find that this thing solves all of your problems at a wonderfully low price.